What is up, you guys? In today's video, I want to go over the future of woodworking and how that affects you. Let's dive in. All right, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm so glad that you're here. And today, I want to talk about the future of woodworking. I want to talk about what the future holds, the good, the bad, the ugly, and how that affects you and your plans moving forward as a woodworker or as a custom furniture business owner. And so I want to dive first into the bad news. I usually like to get the bad news first, so I'll give it to you first. The first thing to know that's kind of bad news is that advertising is always getting more expensive. This is one of the challenges that everybody is going to continually face in business as a whole. On your social media platforms, your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google, traditional advertising, billboards, radio, TV, all of these things, advertising is always getting more expensive. So what that does is that compresses your returns unless you can also increase your pricing alongside it. So one of the biggest challenges about the future of woodworking is that it's always going to be more expensive to acquire a customer, usually next year, than it is today. And so we have to make sure that we're building a more comprehensive brand than all of our competitors. We have to make sure that we are increasing our average order value so that we're getting more money for every order that we get to make sure that we can afford to spend more money on ads. Now, for a lot of you guys out there that don't advertise at all, this is the number one step that you need to take to start really growing your business. This is one of the things that I'll preach until the cows come home, and that is that you need to be advertising. If you're not advertising, what are you doing? You're waiting on referrals, you're waiting on people to come to you, and you might give out 3 or 4 or 5 quotes a month, but all of our clients that advertise give out around 30 to 50 quotes per month, which is astronomically more. They close more deals. It just makes sense that you'd be spending time and energy and money advertising, okay? But the bad news is that advertising is always getting more expensive, okay? Number 2, the second thing that's kind of bad news is that there are less woodworkers today than there were yesterday. What do I mean by this? Well, as a whole, younger people aren't as interested in woodworking as the older generations were. And so that's not to say that there aren't still young people that are interested in woodworking or building handcrafted things. There are. But as a whole, the general population of woodworking, the popularity of woodworking has declined a little bit throughout the years. And the other thing that has contributed to this, like if you go to a Facebook group that's a woodworking related group, or you go to a forum or a Reddit forum, and you see a newbie asking questions, like just genuine questions, trying to learn and trying to get better, all you see are old heads bashing him, telling him that he's not a good woodworker. Well, no kidding, he's not a good woodworker. It's because he's just starting out and learning. So one of my biggest complaints about the woodworking community is that we don't lift each other up. So many of us spend all of our time putting other people down, especially these old heads that are in the trades. They think they're a trim carpenter. They think they've been building furniture for 30 years and that they're something, right? It's just not good for the culture of woodworking. And so, old head, if you're watching this, build people up with your words. If you've been successful, help other people be successful. That is what this channel is all about, is helping other people take the next step, find success, and find what they love to do on their unique journey, right? But there are less woodworkers today than yesterday, and that is because the popularity of woodworking is declining. However, there are some good benefits of that as well. Last thing I got to give you that's bad news is that most people can't make any money woodworking. But note how I said most people. There's an old standing joke that says if you want to be a millionaire as a woodworker, make sure you start with $1 billion. And so everybody is convinced that you can't make money woodworking. It's not true. But most people can't, and it's because they're woodworkers and not business owners, okay? So if you want to be successful in the woodworking industry, in the custom furniture industry, you have to become as much or more of a business owner than you are a woodworker. And this is where a lot of guys really struggle. If this is you, let me know in the comments below, okay? Hopefully, if you've been watching this channel, if you've been subscribed for a while, then we're helping you become more of a business owner as opposed to just a woodworker. And so I'm going to give you some good news now, okay? The good news about the future of woodworking is that it's never been easier to stand out. It's never been easier to stand apart from the competition. So I did a video a while back where I talked about your competitive advantage. Like, what's the number one thing that you have to help you win in a crowded marketplace, in a crowded landscape, so to speak. You know, I gave the example, if you go to Facebook Marketplace right now and you type in farmhouse table, there'll be 500 people that pop up selling $500 farmhouse tables, right? Well, if you just looked at that with just the naked eye and you would say, oh, well, the competition is, I'm competing against a ton of people. Look how cheap all these products are. There's no way that I can compete and win. Well, none of them are business people. They're all just guys in their garage or their shop with some drills and a miter saw, and they're building everything out of construction grade lumber. So if you can set yourself apart by getting fine hardwoods, using really solid finishes, and taking great content, so great photos, great video of your products, and building a cohesive brand, you can stand out really easily. And that's how I was able to sell dining table sets for, on average, around $4,500 at the peak of our business, right before I sold my business, right? And that is because we created a premium brand, a premium product. And so we're not even competing with the guys that are selling $500, $600, $700, $1,000 tables. We're selling $1,800 to $3,000 tables and then selling chairs and benches to complement, right? So it's never been easier to stand out. And I want you guys to truly wrap your mind around this. Because a lot of people will hear me say this and they still won't believe it. They don't think it's true, but it's because you haven't done the work yet to stand out. Once you start doing the work to stand out, which is getting great photos, getting great video, building with premium materials, getting a comprehensive marketing strategy in place so that you're omnipresent, you're all over the place, you're all over the internet. People that have looked at your stuff ever, they continue to see your ads, continue to see you over and over. You're going to win, okay? And so it's never been easier to stand out. Number two, good news, is that businessmen and businesswomen will dominate, not great woodworkers. One of the biggest things that I see in our space is those that are successful have business skills. That's why we created this channel. That's why we created this podcast. It's why we have the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. It's because those that pursue business skills. What do I mean when I say business skills? Marketing, sales, operations, growing and managing a team, handling finances. These are business skills that transcend woodworking. These skills can go into any industry, and when you have these skills, it's so much bigger than just the woodworking thing that you're doing. And when you have these skills, your marketing strategy is going to drive a lot of leads, and it's going to drive a lot of sales and a lot of revenue. Once you start driving a lot of revenue, you need to build teams. You need to build an operational machine and business skills that you can acquire. By the way, you can acquire these. If you're watching this video and you don't have business skills, I didn't either. I wasn't born with it. I wasn't naturally gifted with it, but I studied and learned and put myself underneath people that had been where I was trying to go. And you can soak it up pretty quickly and get what you need in order to go and be successful. Okay, so businessmen and businesswomen are going to be successful in the future. They're going to dominate. Now, the last one is probably my favorite one. This is the last bit of good news that you need to hear in this video, and it is that there will always be a desire for handcrafted products. This is one of the things that I think a lot of people are afraid of, is woodworking going away? Are handcrafted goods going away? Even in the age of AI and everything that's happening with technology, people will always have a desire for handcrafted custom goods. And that's where, even in a time and an age where everyone's saying, 50% of the jobs will be lost in the next 10 years, I don't think that's going to happen with woodworking. I think that there's still going to be a strong desire for handcrafted, handmade things that people can customize. And with you staying at it, building a strong brand, setting yourself apart as a businessman or a businesswoman, also by selling expensive things, I want to just throw that in there. You need to be selling expensive goods. But with that, you're going to thrive. You're going to succeed. You're going to do well. This is what I see the future of woodworking looking like. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? I would love to hear it in the comment section below. What do you feel like is the best part of the future for woodworkers and custom furniture makers? And what do you feel like is the scariest part or the worst part about the future for makers? And so with that, I want to wrap this video up with a couple resources for you. Number one is the Handmade Business Secrets ebook. It's completely free to you. It's first link in the description below. It's about 100 pages long. Go check that out. The second thing is the Handmade Hero Academy program. If you're just getting started, if you're a newbie, you don't have like a product picked out, you don't know how to get some initial traction, this is the best program that I can recommend. It's a very low cost investment and will get you started. If you sell one high ticket product as a result of what you learn there, it's worth the time and the money and the energy. Okay. Lastly is the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. It is my flagship program where we're helping clients all over the US and Canada. We've got over 60 clients currently, and there's no reason you couldn't be the next one. So if you are ready to take your woodworking business to the next level, work with me and my team on a personal level on a day-to-day basis. We would love to partner with you and help you get where you're trying to go. So with that, love and appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.